everybody. I'm DerTebbers. Welcome to your indie peek at American Truck Simulator. Yeah. We're going to take a little drive here in American Truck Simulator, and I've been driving a little bit to try to get my G27 to behave itself. It might behave itself. It sort of doesn't know what it's doing. Let's start by taking a look at the world. That's it. That's all the world we got right now. We got California, we got Nevada, from Hornbrook and Jackpot down to El Centro and San Diego. Now that might not seem like a lot, especially since I've covered that amount of it already. And that's been like 3 runs? I don't remember, whatever. But they've already announced Arizona is coming as free DLC. Now, presumably then they would work on Utah because that would make a perfect, little southwestern U.S. thing. But Arizona's already been announced as free DLC, so that's really good. The trucks, they have Kenworth and they have Peterbilt. Let's go to my only truck dealer I know of. Yes. We'll go over here. All right, so here is the most baseline Kenworth you can get. A T680 duty day cab. It is $122,200. Now, when you think about ETS2, where the cheapest thing was under $100,000, this is a $30,000 up rate on that. But not a bad looking truck. Not a bad looking truck at all. I can't afford it. We're going to leave. Goodbye. All right. Everything else is pretty much Euro Truck Simulator 2 ported to America. But that isn't saying this is a bad thing. Let's take a job here. A little quick job. Let's take something that's relatively short. So let me go to the end of the line here. What do we got? Elko to Elko. That's a little bit too short. How about Fresno to Santa Cruz? That sounds like something. Let's take 42,000 pounds of tires from Fresno to Santa Cruz and make $1,600. That sounds fine. All right. Let me get my wheel centered. There we go. Now, everything here is pretty much, as I said, ETS2 in America. You got the bigger trucks. You got the big American-sized trailers. There's more interesting things going on in that, you got more people moving around. There's a little bit of interesting scenery here and there. Get that away for a minute. And a nice-looking truck. Nice looking, what do we got, a Kenworth? Yeah, it's some sort of Kenworth. Look at that. Look at that guy. He's over there working on his car. Look at that guy. All right. Inside, pretty nice looking truck. Pretty nice. Now, let's put that mirror back so I don't crash and die. Let's start this boy. All right, let's go outside really quick. Turn it up. Sounds good to me. Now, some things. As I said it right at the beginning there. Okay, first of all, how am I getting out of here? Let's start with how the heck do I get out of here? I guess I go that way. Let's look. Should I go that way? No, that would be a bad idea. So let's go that way. Yeah, we're gonna make a hard left, I think. Maybe not. Hopefully we won't over torque this whole thing, but ooh. Yeah, we cleared it. There we go. We made it. Woohoo! We're free. Now, this runs on the same engine as Euro Truck 2, Euro Truck Simulator 2. So it's the same engine. And what does that mean for us? Well, if you are a Euro Truck Simulator 2 fan, expect more of the same. Additionally, because it runs on that engine, and that engine has been around for a little while, and it's got a lot of those bugs vetted out of it, it also means we have a much more stable game than we would have if they'd built an engine up from scratch just for American truck. So that's really great, in my opinion. It means that we've got a lot less in the way of potential bugs that'll break the game on us. Now, they did announce that they will not support 32-bit. So if you have a 32-bit OS, who still has a 32-bit OS anymore? I guess some people do. Most people run 64-bit OSs, and that's good because this unlocks more memory for the game, which means more memory for mods, more memory for loading things up, and it means a smoother game overall. So it's only good for us that they are not supporting 32-bit. Now, you can get to a 32-bit version if you really want to, but they said they won't support it long term. That's fine. The other cool thing they did is they've animated parts of the cabin. So you guys see my flasher, my emergency flashers there? I'm going to turn on my lights. Now watch the button right next to it. Let me find my lights. There they go. Look at that. They actually animated that button. Pretty cool. It's little stuff like that that makes a big difference, in my opinion. The other really cool thing is because Euro Truck Simulator 2 and American Truck are actually sharing the same base engine, SCS announced quite a while ago that they were going to basically co-develop, meaning when they find something to improve using ATS, that improvement gets ported not just onto ATS, but also back onto ETS2 and vice versa. So if something is improved in ETS2, that improvement is moved over to ATS. That means basically they have two games that together will find any bugs or issues and allow them to optimize the game. That's really good. That's really cool. Now, beyond stuff like that, what's the game like? A game's like driving a truck in America. If you don't want to drive a truck in America, I mean, obviously this is not the game for you then. Looks like everybody's turning left over there. I will say this much. I had an incident one, and I don't know if it'll happen again. Probably not because we're going such a short distance. But I had an incident where a cop car pulled out in front of me. A cop car. I almost... Whoa, donkey. I almost got into a wreck because of a cop car. That surprised the crap out of me. I wasn't expecting it at all, and I was just like, what? Because we're used to like the red car or the red bus or whatever in ETS2, I was not expecting it to be a cop car. And that's the other thing. Notice I keep saying cop car. There's no speed cameras. I mean, we don't have them very much in the United States. So that means there are actually cop cars going around, and they will turn on their lights and sirens, blues and twos, if they see you speeding or driving recklessly or whatnot. Now, that's cool. You don't have to stop to get the ticket, which kind of stinks. But the reason it's cool is it's now you don't have the same spot like in ETS2. You'd quickly learn the which areas had speed cameras on them. And you would be like, okay, I know that there's a speed camera up here, so I'm going to slow down. Now, instead of that, you're going to have to... where in the world am I going? I'm going back into the woods. Okay. You're going to have to watch for the black and white. And good luck, you'll miss it. The tickets, the speeding tickets. $1,000 a speeding ticket. They're like what, 400 euro in ETS2. They're $1,000 a speeding ticket. Way stations also matter. You will have to pull into way stations. Running a way station is $1,200. Yeah. Some pretty significant fines. They will quickly bury you if you get a bunch of them early game. Late game, when you have a whole bunch of money like I do in ETS2, where I have like 80-something million dollars, I can blow every stop sign, stoplight, or whatever, and it doesn't hurt me because I've got all that money. But early game, you will absolutely get buried in American truck if you speed or whatnot. Running a red light. You know what? I haven't actually tried to run a red light yet. It took me a while to find a cop to speed by to see what the cop costs were, but I would presume, this is my presumption here, you shouldn't get a ticket when you run a red light because we don't have red light cameras over here. However, this is California, and California's weird, so they might actually have red light cameras. I don't know where in the world I am, honestly. I'm now on a back road somewhere. Oh, good grief. Fatigue simulation is still here. Everything that you know and love about ETS2 is still here. The game is as beautiful as ever. You're just trucking in America now. Big American trailers, big American trucks. It fits better over here than trying to run these big trucks in ETS2. Let's be honest, they were completely out of place going into Amsterdam or London with these big Kenworths, but now it's not so bad over here. The little bit of driving around I've done, it looks like if you lived in Sacramento or Fresno or places like that, you would be able to say, oh, I kind of know where this is. Now you saw they used the company Walbert. Yeah, let's guess which company that is. They're everywhere. I've done most of my deliveries to Walbert. I think this is the first one that isn't to Walbert, actually. Wow, that was just a back road connector, huh? Huh. How about that? Little back road. That's interesting. For sale! 20-acre site for a shopping center. Ah, I should buy it. Or not. Yeah, look at that. It's Eurotruck in the United States. Costs. Oh my gosh, I still have to fix this wheel. I'm still trying to get this stupid G27 to tune back into ATS. Yeah. The cost, $19.99 for this game. Now, I've seen some comments on some sites saying that that's too much. I'm sorry, but it's not. It's the perfect price for this game. I believe, if I remember correctly, I paid more than that for Eurotruck, and I've gotten hundreds of hours of enjoyment out of Eurotruck. So I think this is a great price point, especially when you consider they have said, hey, you get Arizona for free. You get the next trucks. They've said that they have some trucks that they're going to bring out. I'll talk about that in just a second. I want to talk about parking. Parking is a little bit different in ATS. Now, I have it set up so it automatically puts the most difficult parking on, but usually there'd be a little sign, the little floating like job grab signs, and you drive up to it and it would give you three options. 0 XP to just automatically you got it. Like 15 XP to pull into this really easy spot, or for 90 XP, it's the difficult location. I've got the difficult location set up. Now, the thing with the difficult location is that seriously, this can be very difficult. This one looks like it's going to be particularly interesting. I'm actually going to have to back the truck all the way through, I think, based on where I just saw that thing, because I can't go around, and that's too tight of a corner to turn around in. So we're going to have to try it this way. This ought to be interesting. Oops, I hit something. What'd I hit? Oh, I hit a roller. All right. Woo. I think I got myself in a weird position now. Yeah, I didn't have to cut that nearly as tight as I did. right. Let's try that again. Now, what I would love to see, honestly, what I would love to see is somebody like Big Trucker or Sussex Driver. Some of the guys that I know that watch this channel that actually drive trucks for a living. I'd love to see them show us all how this is done properly, because good Lord, I'm not going to do this properly. There we go. Oops. All right, I got to get back inside. Inside. I can't drive like that. Hit that post now. I'm just doing a good job of bouncing off stuff. Hey, dude. How's it going? All right, I got to try to get this thing to swing around the building, right? Yeah, it's going to hit a post. There's a guy that's hovering over there. He's interesting. All right, let's get over here a little bit so we can try to swing this a little bit better. Oh. Like I said, these are particularly difficult parking positions, which is actually pretty enjoyable if you play stuff like Scania Truck Driver. You might be like, oh, this is simple, because Scania Truck will mess you up, how difficult it can be. What can I say? I'm a young trucker, you know? I'm early on my delivery life. I don't like how quickly the wheel turns, but I'm still tuning it in. Now, anybody that asks, right now, okay, that's terrible. Hold on, there we go. All right. So anybody wants to know, yes, we are going to do American Truck on Truckin' Saturday. It's just not going to happen this month. This month already recorded, guys. There we go. Good Lord, I'm a bad truck driver, which we already knew. And there we go. Woo! Did it. Very not the easiest parking job. Anybody who struggles in ETS2, you're going to really struggle with those difficult, it's called the random parking. For $20, you're going to get a great game, solid base foundation using the ETS2 engine. You get California, you get Nevada. Arizona's been announced as free DLC. You get Kenworth and Peterbilt trucks in game. SES has publicly stated they're working with Freightliner and Volvo USA to get their trucks licensed in the game. We can only go up from here. The modding community is going to come in big time. We already know that. The modding community is huge with ETS. Same engine, mods will come over very easily. I would be shocked if European trucks weren't showing up as mods for ATS very soon. Additionally, SES has said they're going to make use of the Steam Workshop, which is great because it makes it a little bit easier to get your mods using the Steam Workshop. I like it. I think it's great. I think the $19.99 price point is even better. Just don't go out for lunch 2 days. Just, pack yourself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for 2 days. Don't eat out and you got your $20. Buy a game. Boom. You can enjoy American Truck. I've been DerTebbers. This has been your Indie Peek at American Truck Simulator. Definitely a buy. Remember, everybody, if you're out there driving and you pull in front of one of these guys, they're going to win because they drive big trucks and you drive a little car, and your little car goes squishy, 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 and the truck does not. So don't mess with the trucks. Give them a wide berth.